today we are going to be working on the 4Runner, and we have a box here today from Prinsu. You guys didn't see this 4Runner before. It had a front runner rack on it, so it's kind of like the basket style, and that didn't work out for us because we had the camper on top, and it was just sitting on top of the basket, and there was no use for the basket at all, and it didn't. The camper didn't even fit within the rack properly. Unboxing.
This right here, this is a big deal. The non-drill version. So they have a version that you had to drill holes into the front of the roof. That's because there's really no holes there. Nobody wants to drill into the brand new 4Runner anyways, right? So first off, we're gonna lay out something so that, you know, if we do slide it around, it's not gonna scratch up the powder coat. And here, this piece right here is the wind reducer. This is a must-have if you're buying a Prinsu. Then we got the hardware, and let's get the rack out. It's super light, by the way. It's aluminum. It won't rust. And then we got the wind deflector with the 40-inch cutout. Can you guys guess what light bar we're going to be putting on that? And these are the crossbars. So the silver one right there, that one's going to be connecting the wind deflector. Everything else is going to be the rest of the rack. So what we're going to do first, we're going to lay everything out, and then we will assemble it. It's super easy. If you guys have a Tacoma, we already have an install video for that, so make sure you check that out. We're going to be building out the 4Runner now. So if you guys have a 4Runner, make sure you guys continue following us on Instagram and YouTube. One thing I do want to show you guys on the 4Runner is that if you do have a moonroof, you will want to space it out. If you want to, you'll still have access to the moonroof. If not, then just lay it out however you want it, and then it won't matter. By the way, if you guys didn't notice, we did wrap the top of our roof, and the main reason why we did it is because we like the way it looks, but also when we have a roof rack on here, we're never ever gonna be able to clean underneath it really. So that is the second reason, is because we couldn't clean it. So the wrap will keep the paint underneath it nice and new, I guess.
Pretty much you're gonna lay this out the exact same way you're gonna have it on your car. Obviously these are the two sidebars, one on each side.
So this is gonna be the front. So since we had parked it backwards, that right here, where the wind deflector is gonna be, is facing the front. So this is how you want it. You want that piece to be pointing the inside of the vehicle. So you got the wind deflector, silver bar with the rest of the bars, two sidebars.
The first bag we're gonna open, it's gonna be the biggest bag with all these. And what these are, they go into the slots of these crossbars. You're gonna have two of them on each side, so you're gonna have four for each crossbar. And these crossbars, you want to look at these slots here. You'll have like these ones where it'll be stationary, it won't move, or if you want to move these bars while it's on the 4Runner, you can put it into this one and you can slide it. You would be better off putting this last crossbar on these two slots here. That way it avoids the fin in the back. The fin is actually sitting like right here in the middle, and if you leave it right here, it's gonna be in the way of the fin. So you wanna put it in the very back here, and we'll show you what we mean. First, we're gonna start with the back bar here. We're gonna go into these two slots.
Another thing real quick, guys, these crossbars, they have these drop downs right here, which allow you to use these tie down points. These are really nice, so if you ever need to tie anything down or use a bungee, you can use these. So this right here, it has a square head. You would drop it in there like that and then slide it, and then once it's in there, you can slide it to wherever you want and then tighten it all the way down and it'll stay in place. Like everything, you should put the lock nut or the lock washer on first and then the regular washer. And then with these, you don't want to over tighten them because they will break. I've actually done so on the Tacoma, so don't over tighten them. So for our last one, we're gonna have the drop downs facing the back of the vehicle, so that way we can slide it in easier rather than having to reach to the other side and sliding it that way.
If you have a camper, you're not gonna be able to access anywhere inside these bars anyways, so just have everything facing out or up.
We're gonna hop on over here and do this side, so that way these can stand on their own. If you see what Juan's doing, we always like to do this first. We always pre-assemble all the hardware. That way we don't have to do it every single time. As you guys can see here, we got all the bars laid out and loosely attached. It's just 2 on each bar on each side. So let's tighten them down and then we'll do the wind deflector.
Front and very back one is upwards, not flat.
Yeah.
Because the back one, you're going to avoid that fin. The front one, you're going to get more of that sunroof if you have one. You don't have to tighten it like completely yet until we put it on the 4Runner. Make sure everything's in place and then you can do one last tighten down.
Next, we're going to be doing the wind deflector. So there's a few ways to do this, but the way we're going to do it is we're going to grab your bolts, washer, and lock washer. Put it through the hole. Grab the washer that's threaded. Thread it on just a little bit so that it is able to hold itself, and do the same to all the holes. When you guys are done, the front with the Prinsu that's facing the correct way will have the Phillips head, and on the back we'll have the washers that are threaded, and we got that on there just really loosely. Stand the silver bar up, turn those threaded washers so that they're vertical. That way they can slide into these grooves. And like we mentioned, you want to have these as loose as possible without having it off the bolt, of course. Once you have it in, there it goes. And then the next one, you probably want to loosen that one up just a little bit. Last one. This is definitely the hardest part of this whole install. If you need to, grab a rubber mallet. Is it in? Go. Last step, well, not the last, but we're going to tighten these. He just tried to tighten it with a friggin' Torx head. But these, just tighten them all the way down if you have this flush like we do. Once you have all the Phillips tightened, I'm going to butt it up with the front of the rack and put it in the bolts. So the front wind deflector is the same thing as these, same 2 holes, just like that. Next step, going to install the wind noise reducer, and it helps because this protects your paint as well. So you start at one end. There you go. It looks like it's a little long, so we'll grab some pliers, some dikes. Ooh. You can pull it out.
Perfect.
Perfect fit. Next part, we got the hardware with the 1-inch spacers, the long bolts, big old washers. I'm gonna grab this, put it on top of the 4Runner, and then figure out where these go. Like I mentioned earlier, if you guys want to keep your moonroof functional, then remove the 2 crossbars right here and here, which is the 2nd and 3rd one. By the way, the lift is next. Look at that. Looks slammed. Since we have the 4Runner already on here, we have silicone already in the holes. If you guys are doing this for the first time, which I'm guessing you will be, make sure you guys put silicone in the holes and around it. That way, when you put the screw in it, it'll seal around the thread. That way you don't get any water inside the cab or inside the vehicle. So, grab spacers. They're gonna go under it, so that way, as you can see right now, it's touching the paint. So the spacers will basically lift it up just enough so it sits above the paint. Grab the spacer. Put it under there. Another one. Just like that. This is the same pattern for all hardware. Put it in. And thread it in. Pretty simple, but if you guys are doing it for the first time, put the silicone all around the hole so that way when you do put the bolt through, it'll seal around the bolt.
So you want to put you just want to put your silicone tip right down where that hole is, and you want to squeeze out enough to where it looks like a Hershey's Kiss, and that'll be enough. There we go.
Alright, so we're going to do that to the middle and the rear. We got all that pre-assembled. I'm going to do this rear one first since we did that side already. So, I'm going to slide it in place.
So earlier, when we were assembling this rack, we were talking about having this bar standing vertically rather than laying down like this, because we were talking about that fin. See?
Radio fin.
If we were to lay it flat like the one right next to it here, it would not clear this fin. We learned this the first time doing that rack over there. Has the same fin, And we had to stand that one up as well.
The other hardware bag that we have here has an L bracket. Looks like that. And this is gonna go on the front. Since this is the no drill, they give you 3M tape to stick to the bottom of this. This is aluminum, so it would not rust. So what you're gonna wanna do, measure it first. Line it up where the holes will be straight. And if you have a white marker, it's gonna be easier to see. Just mark it where you're gonna cut it, just like that. And then we're gonna pull off this weather strip. It's really easy to come off, it just comes up. And then we're probably not even gonna take it off. We're just gonna get some scissors. There is a little bit of metal in here, so if you wanna use dikes, you can use dikes too. So we got golden scissors, made of real gold. So I think you can cut through metal. We're gonna see real quick. Yeah. Let's try it again. Oh shit!
Real gold.
So if you, I don't know if you can focus on that, but it has metal right in the middle piece right there. Cut that off. Cut the other side where we marked it. Boom! And then we'll put it back. So now the L bracket should fit just like that, and the holes line up perfectly on this side. Like that. Last thing, these L brackets are gonna go in the front. So first thing you want to do, grab the 3M tape, peel it off, and then stick it to the back of the unpainted spot. Do the same to the other side. Prinsu gives you extra hardware for everything, so we had like extra hardware from the sidebars and the wind deflector and everything, so we got extra ones for this too. This one doesn't have a lock washer though. It has a locking nut, so we'll just need 4 of these. So if you have leftovers, don't freak out. It's just extras. Look at how many washers we got. Okay, just for this bag. So we'll need the 2 L brackets, 4 bolts and washers, and then 4 locking nuts. Grab one of these. Peel off the other side of the double-sided tape. All right, once you got that off, the L part is gonna go towards the inside. So we're gonna put it right in there. Okay. Push it down. Grab your bolt and washer. We're gonna feed that from the outside. Put your locking nut on. The other one. And then with these in, you can push it down, hold it for about 30 seconds. We're gonna use an impact for this one. You don't have to. Gonna make it go by quicker. On the other side, the same torques that you've been using. Remember, don't over tighten. And then do the same for the other one. Alright, racks up. All the bolts are hand tightened and started. So now we'll just go through with the ratchet and tighten everything down. That looks so much better. This is my favorite part right here. The front, how it goes into the body of the vehicle so nicely.